So here's something people have been whispering about for a long time, and now it's getting louder by the day. Stories that used to stay low-key are suddenly popping up everywhere, from people who don't even move in the same circles, all saying similar things. Some are claiming that Beyonce isn't just standing beside Jay-Z, but possibly calling major shots behind the scenes, like controlling moves, influencing decisions, and shaping what happens in the industry. And once you start lining up all these claims, it starts to look interesting, to say the least. You've got Nicki Minaj making statements, rumors about Solange keeping her distance, talk about strict rules inside their circle, and even chatter that Jay-Z has to move a certain way. Then there's the pattern people keep pointing at. Female artists who were once rising fast, but somehow lost momentum after crossing paths with the Carters. Now, none of this is confirmed, but the way these stories keep repeating has people seriously paying attention. So now it's time to really dig into this, because things took a sharp turn out of nowhere. This whole situation started heating up when 50 Cent jumped in and flipped the entire story on its head. For months, all eyes were locked on Jay-Z. Allegations flying, lawsuits stacking up, people calling him out left and right. Everything pointed straight at him. But then 50 came through and basically said, "Y'all are looking at the wrong person." He hinted that Beyonce might actually be the one steering everything behind the scenes, with Jay-Z playing a role that's tied to bigger agreements. According to what's being said, there could be some kind of arrangement that keeps Beyonce involved in major Hollywood moves and business dealings. That claim alone had people side-eyeing everything they thought they knew.
Even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things they would. Later, to me, I didn't care about trophies. I said, I'll get the checks. Right? And because what I was saying, the content was raw enough, like, and who I am.
And look, when 50 Cent drops a statement like that, people can laugh it off if they want. But his history of calling things early is hard to ignore. That's what makes this whole situation feel different. It's not like this idea just appeared overnight. There have been quiet hints and side comments about this kind of dynamic for years, and now it's like everything is spilling out at once. The timing alone has people raising eyebrows. You've also got names like Solange and Nicki Minaj being brought into the conversation, with claims that they've hinted at tension or deeper issues behind the scenes. Some people are even going as far as saying Beyonce has been painted very differently than her public image suggests. But again, these are claims and opinions being shared, not confirmed facts. Still, the way they keep coming up has people watching closely.
Multiple witnesses describe Beyonce stepping in for the final act on cornered victims, cold and deliberate. Another talked about skin taken afterwards, human skin turned into leather for a tour outfit. We have names, dates, locations, credible enough to open a formal case. My team wanted to move fast, issue international arrest warrants, request Interpol red notices, question Jay-Z and Beyonce through diplomatic channels. We had enough to bring them in for questioning, to seek real justice for the victims and their families who still wait for answers.
And the idea being pushed is that she's the one calling the shots behind the scenes. Just sit with that for a second. Because this isn't just random people online making noise. The claims are said to be coming from individuals who were once close to that circle, people who supposedly saw how things worked up close. And what's got everyone talking is how similar their stories sound, even when they're not connected to each other. So it makes people wonder, how do you explain that kind of pattern? Now, one topic that keeps coming up and honestly makes a lot of people uncomfortable is the situation involving a man who has publicly claimed for years that Jay-Z is his father. He's been pushing for a paternity test for a long time, saying that Jay-Z was involved with his mother, Wanda, when she was very young. These are serious allegations that remain unproven, but the fact that they continue to resurface keeps the conversation going and adds another layer to everything people are questioning.
You got these lawyers that just frauding and
pin anything they doing, anything they want basically in the courtroom, and the judges is just allowing this to go on. I honestly believe that both of them should be hold it responsible for this, because if you guys, this is you guys' job, and if the judge can't see this or overlook it, I can understand a mistake, but just throughout the years, this continue to overlook fraud it's just craziness to me. Like, come on, it's right there in your face. If you can't see that, then I don't know what else we can do to help you guys believe that it's something crazy going on with this case. Honestly, I just want everybody in the world just to keep their eyes open and just watch things that happen, that just like how things unfold, because it's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, this collusion, who knows what it's for, money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're already the victims and we did nothing wrong.
He's also been claiming that Jay-Z's legal team wasn't fully honest in court, even suggesting they tried to backtrack later by blaming it on some kind of mistake. And here's the part that really has people talking. Ramir has said that while these claims were being challenged publicly in court, there were also alleged attempts to handle things quietly behind the scenes. Now again, these are his claims, not confirmed facts, but the way he tells it has definitely kept attention locked on this situation.
Beyonce thing came when a friend of mine who knew her, somebody in her camp, and she said something supposedly, this is all hearsay, about regarding saying Ramir needs to go away little boy, something to that effect. There was something out there with the song they made. And then next thing I know, somebody was at my property. Somebody came to my property in the evening time and had a conversation about trying to get in through the back door.
So which one is it supposed to be? Either you believe the claim isn't true, or there's an effort to handle it quietly behind closed doors, because both of those stories don't line up, and that contradiction has people seriously confused. And then it gets even heavier. ER has also claimed that after filing a civil case, there were attempts to scare him off. He said that shots were fired in his direction and that his family has dealt with years of intimidation tactics. Now, those are serious allegations and not proven, but they've definitely added tension to the situation. According to Ramir and people close to him, there's also a belief that Beyonce had influence in how everything was handled, that she may have played a part in encouraging Jay-Z not to acknowledge the claim or settle it. Think about that for a second. The idea being pushed is that a man might not acknowledge a possible child because of pressure within his own relationship. If that were true, it would suggest a level of influence that goes way beyond what most people consider normal. And Ramir isn't the only name that's been brought up. There's also Letitia, who, according to claims, was born in 1990 after Jay-Z was allegedly involved with her mother, Lisa, adding yet another layer to this already complicated story. So here's where things get even more complicated. There are claims that Jay-Z allegedly bought Letitia a house out in Cambridge, Maryland, and helped cover her bills, but with a condition that raised a lot of eyebrows. According to what's being said, she wasn't allowed to display any photos of him inside the home. Think about that for a second. A whole house provided, but no visible connection allowed. That detail alone has people questioning everything. And it doesn't stop there. Some are claiming that over time, Jay-Z completely cut ties with Letitia. There are also statements saying her mother, who reportedly uses a wheelchair, has been left without support. Now, these are serious claims and not confirmed, but they've added fuel to an already intense conversation. What really has people talking is the belief, shared by some, that Beyonce may have influenced those decisions. The narrative being pushed is that certain relationships were distanced to protect their image and empire. If even part of that were true, people are saying that's a level of control that feels KTH, cold, and calculated. And then the focus shifts to her own family. There are also claims that Beyonce has kept distance between some of her half-siblings and the rest of the Knowles family, with Solange's name being mentioned in these discussions too. So according to these stories, it's not just one side of the family. People are saying it goes both ways, which only adds more weight to the bigger picture being painted. This goes way beyond just managing a relationship. People are saying it looks more like managing everyone connected to it. Now, let's get into the rules, because this part really has people talking in a way that's both fascinating and a little unsettling. After the 2014 elevator incident involving Solange, there were insider claims that Jay-Z felt so thankful the marriage stayed intact that he agreed to follow a strict set of boundaries moving forward. According to those reports, things changed fast. Nights out with friends, cut back, one-on-one meetings with female artists, allegedly off the table based on what people close to the situation have said, and then Rihanna's name gets pulled into the mix. A source reportedly told Hollywood Life that Beyonce remained cautious about that connection, especially after years of rumors involving her and Jay-Z. With so much speculation floating around, people say it created an environment where trust was constantly being questioned. It's even been claimed that Beyonce keeps a very close watch on that situation. Now, to be clear, Jay-Z hasn't been completely cut off from working with Rihanna, but according to the chatter, there are still boundaries in place, and this is where people really start debating the dynamic. You're talking about one of the most powerful figures in music and entertainment, yet there are claims he's operating under strict personal rules about who he can spend time with and how he interacts. To some, that doesn't look like an equal partnership. It looks like something much more controlled. That kind of situation makes people feel like someone got caught slipping and ended up handing over control of their entire lifestyle. Now, there are also reports saying they've gone to therapy and made time for regular date nights to reconnect. On the surface, that sounds like something positive. But when you stack it on top of everything else being claimed, the rules, the alleged control over family matters, and the talk of people being pushed out, it starts to look a lot different. To some, it doesn't come across as simple relationship work. It starts to feel more like a calculated way to manage everything behind the scenes. Now let's get into the blacklisting claims, because this is where people say the pattern really stands out. Take Blue Cantrell, for example. She was everywhere at one point, then suddenly disappeared from the spotlight. Some have suggested her career shift may have been connected to rumored tension involving Beyonce, especially with talk that Jay-Z had taken an interest in her. There were even whispers about a possible relationship, though nothing was ever confirmed. When Blue addressed it, she shut those rumors down, but did tell Wendy Williams that she had a big crush on Jay. Still, the timing of everything has kept people questioning what really happened behind the scenes.
Well, I think it's this. Her mom's sick in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? Like, my thing is, if it's a possibility to somebody my kid, and I've got $1 billion, even if I got 20 million, come on, let's go take this, find out. I mean, and you rich now if you are. It's simple. Like, if I got a wife that don't understand that, she can roll.
And then just like that, poof, her career seemed to fade out, and people couldn't help but notice the timing. You can probably see why this keeps raising questions. Then there's Mia, an artist who was seriously dominating at one point. We're talking over 3.2 million albums sold, major awards, a Grammy nomination, and hit songs climbing the charts nonstop. She wasn't just known, she was a full-on star. But after working with Jay-Z on the remix of Best of Me, rumors started spreading about something more going on between them. Nothing was ever confirmed, but according to what's been said, things allegedly didn't end well with the Carters. And from there, people claim her momentum slowed down in a way that didn't make sense for someone at her level. And she's not the only name people bring up. You'll hear names like Amiri, Carrie Hilson, Rihanna, and even Mia again being mentioned in these conversations. Mia, in particular, has spoken openly about her experiences, saying she refused to take part in certain industry practices to push her career forward. She also made it clear in her own words that Beyonce is not as innocent as she portrays herself, a statement that definitely got people paying attention.
You really have him locked down?
I think so. I think they're in love. I think they're in love.
Is politics speaking?
No, I really do think they're in love. I have a big crush on him now. I'll tell you that much.
Did you
still have a crush on him? No.
Yes,
No, no, I didn't. No, I'm really selective about it.
What?
Really. I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him though.
If he came in right now and we were all not here. What? I'm just saying, you're in New York.
Yeah, okay. And what
If you ran into him and everything was right, would you make that play?
I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it that way. Okay. But you can't just go around just, sleeping with guys like that.
And the claims don't stop there. Some people are saying she's not just aware of everything going on, but actively involved in it too. Then you got Nicki Minaj entering the conversation with statements that raised a lot of eyebrows. She suggested in the past that she faced professional setbacks connected to powerful figures in the industry, including Jay-Z and people around him. She's even hinted that this played a role in her stepping back from releasing music. Nicki also shared that an unnamed party allegedly tried to interfere in her personal relationship, claiming there were attempts to turn her partner against her using misinformation and influence from people in high places. And when it comes to Beyonce, Nicki didn't hold back either. She suggested that Beyonce operates in a similar way to Jay-Z, or possibly even more strategically, depending on how you interpret her comments. Then there are also rumors circulating that Nicki is supporting even more serious accusations involving the Carters. But it's important to note that these claims are unverified and should be treated carefully. On top of that, Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan, has been mentioned in these discussions as well. He claimed that at one point, federal agents approached him regarding Jay-Z, suggesting there was close attention being paid, but again, details around that remain unclear and unconfirmed.
Potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious. Just like Aaliyah got on that plane. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting AirTag on visits. These are normal practices that these people do.
And then there are even more serious claims floating around that Jay-Z was being looked into over allegations involving transporting women across borders. Some people have gone further, suggesting that Beyonce either knew about these situations or may have had some level of involvement. Now, these are heavy accusations and not confirmed, but the fact they keep coming up has definitely kept people talking. So where does all of this leave things? You've got 50 Cent pointing straight at Beyonce, Nicki Minaj speaking on her own experiences, rumors about Solange distancing herself, multiple female artists whose careers seem to lose momentum after getting close to Jay-Z. Then there are the ongoing claims about family situations and decisions being influenced behind the scenes. If you listen to what's being said, the picture people are painting is one of control stretching across both personal and professional sides of their lives. Now let's be clear, none of this has been proven as fact. A lot of it is allegations, speculation, and stories being shared from different angles. But when similar claims keep popping up from people who aren't connected, it naturally makes people stop and question what's really going on. And that's the question still hanging in the air. If Beyonce has really been the mastermind behind everything this whole time, how long could something like that actually stay hidden? If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns, share this with someone who needs to see it, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.